Hello guys, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video on my channel. So I got up today, checked my newsfeed, and I found out there is a brand new rumor now surfacing on the internet regarding this remake, which is currently in development, detailing more information regarding the gameplay, the new enemy design, and what we can expect to see from this brand new Spencer Mansion in this remake. So I couldn't wait. I wanted to make this in a video to talk with you guys. So without wasting any time, let's dive into our video. And if you're brand new to my channel and you do end up liking this video, do give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and even share with your friends if you can, because it allows me to make more of this content for you guys. Now, the last video I've covered on my channel, I talked about the Resident Evil 1 remake is supposedly in development and is scheduled to be released around the anniversary of this franchise, which is in 2026. Since that time, multiple sources come out and confirmed that actually is the case, and Capcom is looking to remake the original Resident Evil 1 into a remake format the way they did with Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake and 4 remake. But I told you guys, and I will still tell you, that these are rumors at the moment. These are not officially confirmed by Capcom. So do not take this as an official information, because I do not have any source to confirm or verify any information which I've covered in my video. I just talk my personal views on these rumors which gets leaked on the internet. So let's dive into this rumor first. Let's read through it, and then I'll give you my personal view on it, that what do I think about this brand new rumor. Now, this time around, this rumor is actually coming from a YouTuber, and he also got a Twitter account. He goes by the name of Bio Declassified. Now, he confirmed that he got this anonymous email from this source who does not want to disclose themselves. I don't know why, but let's take this rumor with a grain of salt and let's discuss what he has to say. Now, first of all, the title is actually called Biohazard Resident Evil 1. It doesn't make sense to me that why they wouldn't call Resident Evil Biohazard, why it's Biohazard and Resident Evil 1, but that's supposedly the working title at the moment. Then the gameplay itself will be slower compared to RE2 Remake. I personally think RE2 Remake had the perfect sort of gameplay. I think they could have adapted that, which I don't think is quite fast paced as compared to Resident Evil 4 Remake, but I think they're going proper hardcore with Resident Evil 1 Remake. And it also makes sense because Resident Evil 1 is majority of the game you spend in Spencer Mansion, and you want to explore it, do more puzzles, do more backtracking. And if you have a bit faster gameplay mechanics, I think it might destroy that rhythm, because you might want to immerse into the atmosphere which they have crafted for this brand new Spencer Mansion we're going to be seeing in this remake. And I personally think that's a brilliant idea, to invest the player into this beautiful mansion, which is one of the best locations we have from this franchise. Now, I also mentioned a very interesting point, that each of the zombies is going to have their own unique models, that you're going to have a limited amount of zombie characters in the game, which makes sense, and they're going to have their own unique models, so every zombie is going to look different compared to each other. If that is the case, Capcom, that is a brilliant idea, because we have not seen any Resident Evil games where we've seen diverse zombie characters. We've seen the same sort of models repainted or retextured in a different clothing, but I think doing that way, having brand new characters, it would feel like a real place. It would feel like each zombie would mean something if you kill them, because you will remember what sort of zombie that was. And I think that will create a memorable gameplay mechanics for this brand new remake. And I do think that would be a great idea to create immersion for the player, because if you have your one encounter with one specific zombie, you will remember that. And I think doing that way, and I personally think that is possible, because Resident Evil 1 in general does not go massive open world, and I think if you're going to be moving forward with Resident Evil 9 or future titles with a massive open world approach, I think Resident Evil 1 Remake would be ideal, where you can do these experiments of having different models. As we see in Resident Evil 2 Remake, offered us a gore mechanic, which was a technical marvel. So I think doing the same approach with the same mentality on Resident Evil 1 Remake and providing these zombies their own unique model would be another graphical leap within this franchise. Then they made another claim confirming that Resident Evil 1 Remake zombies apparently take more bullets to take down compared to Resident Evil 2 Remake, and they'll be supposedly called as bullet sponges. I personally felt that Resident Evil 2 Remake zombies already felt like bullet sponges anyway, because they take so many bullets to take down, and especially if you don't take headshots or you shoot them on the different parts of the body, they keep coming back and making it more harder than Resident Evil 2 Remake. I think it might put some people off. I know it's catering back to the hardcore RE fans just like I am, but I think more casual RE community out there, they might don't enjoy that bit. I think there might be different mods, I don't know, that might be the case, but I could understand why they would do that, because Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 1 Remake we had, the enemies actually do feel like bullet sponges. So I think doing that and making it more harder than RE2 Remake, that makes the game more survival horror compared to what we've seen in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Then they made the most interesting point for me out of all of this: the Crimson Heads will be back. So it also means that they're borrowing stuff from the RE1 Remake we had, and we might even get Lisa Trevor as maybe a stalker enemy, which I think those characters were a great addition to the game itself. And I personally think that remake is still one of the best remakes in this franchise. So you can imagine each zombie having their own unique models. You take them down, you know which zombie is at what location, and then when you come back, all of a sudden they start chasing you up. I personally think Crimson Heads are one of the most scariest enemies in any horror game. Then they further confirmed that Resident Evil 1 lore would be explored further into the game, which goes back to the point I've said before, that Lisa Trevor would make a return again, and I think they would explore further into that. We might even get to see George Trevor, and I personally think the most important one is a tie-in connection with Resident Evil 0. Now it's down to Capcom. They might combine it together into a single game, but based on these rumors, that's not the case. So it might come as a DLC, which I think it would be a great idea, or they might decide to pay attention to this underrated Resident Evil game and do a proper remake of this title and make it into one of the best remakes we yet to see from the series of these remakes. But I personally know that they won't pay much attention to it, because their focus right now is Resident Evil 1 Remake, then Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake, and Resident Evil 5 Remake, to make a trilogy story between Chris and Albert's storyline. So as long as they've done it right, even if it's a DLC, I'm more than happy with that, and I would love to play it, but only if it's done right. Then they confirm a different third-person camera angle will be used to make it slower of pace compared to any remakes we had, which is interesting for me. I don't know what approach they're going to be using with this new camera angle. I don't know. I would love them to give us the options of playing in first person and third person camera angles, and even fix cameras to go back to the original games, because I think Resident Evil 1 Remake should have these options when we not go in open world, we only play in one specific location and we want to immerse ourselves. So give us all of these, and it will create more replayability for all the fans out there, because we would be able to finish the game in fixed camera angles going back to the original games. Then we can play with the third person camera angles they're going to introduce, and then with the first person camera perspective, which is one of my favorite, to be honest, since we've seen from Resident Evil 7, and it would allow a lot of gamers to get into this remake. And finally, the last point, which I personally didn't like, because it says that we're going to have no more pre-rendered backgrounds. Each room will load up background assets, and the rest of the assets will load when the doors are open. This is to improve visuals and lighting. I think that was the case anyway, that we're not going to get pre-rendered backgrounds, especially on a PS5. I don't think they would be doing that anyway, but going back in the room and then the other assets going to load on the background, or when we're going to open the door, it's going to load up those assets for us. I don't think it's going to be that taxing for the graphics side of things when we only playing in one location, which made me guess that they might be going for hyper realism, and this mansion might look to be the most realistic environment from any Resident Evil game. If that's the case, then I think that would be great, as long as it doesn't break the immersion for the player, because I don't want to open a door and then found out that the game is still loading the assets for me, because now we have SSDs in these brand new consoles, so I don't think that would be a problem anyway. But I personally think switching the assets as you go into a certain location might create issues, might create bugs, because we've seen Resident Evil 2 Remake, which does not have any problem. You can go from one room to another without any problems, so I don't understand why they would use a different approach with Resident Evil 1 Remake. All in all, that's just a rumor coming from someone who have just got an email, so there is no source, so I would just take this with a grain of salt. But if it's turned out to be true, it gets me really excited for this brand new remake. So what do you guys think about this information? Does that make you excited? Please do let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section down below in this video. So that's it for the video, guys. I'll catch you again with a lengthier Resident Evil video. Until then, look after yourself. Have a good one.